You have to go through the season. And then the second season that we went through was the waiting season. That's another season that people have a problem with. No patience. And just looking at, why isn't this happening? Why is God not answering? Why am I going through this? And why am I going through that? And how come God won't open a door? And how come this is going on in my life? But you have to remember that a waiting season is a growing season. It's a time that God is doing something great in your life. It's a time that God is awakening your spirit man to his attention. He's waking you up so that you would know that during this waiting season, even the word of God says, wait on the Lord. Wait on the, and he's going to do what? Renew your strength. And a lot of times we cannot even equate that with the waiting season, but that is the waiting season. Wait on the Lord and he'll renew your strength, because guess what happens when we're in a waiting season? We become weak. We become discouraged. We want to just quit and give up. But he said, if you wait, I'll renew your strength. That means I will give you more confidence that he, meaning Jesus, who has started a new work in you, he said, I'll even complete it. So if you trust God to start you in the season, why can't you trust him to walk you through it? Okay? So we have to learn to walk through the season with the Lord, that he said that he will do this for us. He said that he will walk us through. He said that he will give us the waiting, I don't know how to say it, but he will give us what we need while we're going through it. But this is one thing that I love about him, is that he blesses not only us while we're in the season, but he blesses the season. And that's what you have to let God do, is bless the season. As he blesses the season, you grow in God, you grow in grace, you grow in the knowledge of him. And I think that during these times, the dry season and during the waiting season, that's when you should learn more about the Lord. That's when you should find time to get with the Lord and just say, Lord, just show me you. Just show me what I need. Just show me how I can grow in you, how I can get to know you during a dry time. Lord, what do you do in the dry season? I know what I'm doing. I'm getting upset. But but really, what do you do, Lord? And then whatever he does is what we should do. So that's what we need to do. We need to find a place with the Lord, the relationship that we need to walk in with him, that it is so great during these seasons that we don't worry about what's going on. We don't worry about what's happening. We just allow God to bless the seasons that we're in. Okay? I love that. And so as we learn to allow God to bless the season, then we learn to grow in a place that we've never been before. It's a place that you'll never turn back. It's a place where you will say, now I know how to handle this. I know how to handle me, and I know how to handle other people. Because sometimes you're going to get those naysayers. Why hasn't God answered the door? Why hasn't he answered the prayer for you yet? How come God hasn't moved? Why is this going on in your life? Those naysayers, you're going to have to spiritually shut the door. You're going to have to spiritually become tone deaf. You're going to have to spiritually walk away from the naysayers, because they will cause you to take your attention off of the blessing that God has for you while you're in that season, and begin to focus upon your flesh again. You'll begin to focus upon your journey. You'll begin to focus upon what's going wrong in your life, and you're going to have that setback. So don't let anybody get in your life when you're in a waiting season, a dry season, to say anything negative. You have to say, This is a time that this is between me and God now. Okay, so you're just going to have to see your way out. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it. And you have to tell them, what you have to understand about where I am with God is where I am with God. I don't know what season you're in, but the season that I'm in brings about great potential. It brings about opportunities. It brings about doors opening and benefits that I never thought I would have had I just sat there and gone through the muddy grubs of my waiting season. But when you learn to walk in these seasons and know that God will take you from here to here, he's in it. He always bridges you from the time that you're in the season. He will bridge you to your next season. Don't ever be discouraged. You're going to have another season. And you're going to always have seasons, but you have to identify them. Know which one you're in. Ask the Lord to bless you and to bless your season while you're in it. And he will take you through. I guarantee he will take you through. Well, today's season is about grinding. Grinding. You're grinding. And what does that mean? Does anybody know what the grinding season is? Oh, well, I'll tell you. I will tell you. The grinding season is when you're too busy. You're too busy. It's a very busy time. It's a very busy season, and it can really mess you up. And that's a trick of the enemy. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this season, but let me read something in the scriptures coming from Psalms 95, and it's verses 4 and 5. It says, in his hands are the deep places. No, it's 3 and 4. 3 says, for the Lord is a great God. Isn't he a great God? And a great King above all gods. And 4 says, in his hands are the deep places of the earth. The strength of the hills are his also. So when you're in a grinding time, he has his hands in it. But he wants you to understand that the enemy will make you so busy that you'll forget about the fact that your grinding time, your dry time, your waiting time is a time that the Lord can breathe over it and bless you while you're in it. You have to understand that these seasons are great for us. They help us grow spiritually. I don't want any of you walking around like spiritual midgets because you cannot figure out what season you're in. You're never growing. You never understanding. God's never doing anything that he needs to do in your life because you're just so messed up. So what we would consider the busy season is Thanksgiving and Christmas and Valentine's and Mother's Day and Easter. That's what we call the busy season. Why? Because we're so busy running around buying things, running around making sure we got enough food, running around making sure that we got all the invitations ready for people to come over to the house. Our decorations are up for Christmas. We're going into the fall, which is a beautiful season for a lot of people. But that is not your busy season. It is definitely not your busy season. It's a season where we always saying, the season that I'm talking about, I don't have enough time to do this. I can't do this all by myself. It seems like I'm the only one that's working. Nobody's doing anything but me. I can't get anything done. That's your busy season. I'm constantly working, doing nothing. That's the busy season that you're in. You can't get anything done. The questions that I'm going to read these off to you because if I don't, I'm going to miss them. The questions that we're asking is that if you're going to say, I'm too busy, I can't get this done, this is happening in my life, that's happening in my life, then why are you grinding? Why are you grinding then? Okay, so let's talk about it. We're just too busy. Somebody said, we're just too busy. Okay, too busy to return calls, too busy to visit a family, too busy to stop for me time, too busy to rest, too busy to sleep, too busy to eat a decent meal, too busy for family time, too busy for relationship, too busy for the husband and for the wife, too busy for friend time, too busy for Jesus, and too busy for prayer time. Now that, to me, is too busy. That is too busy. When you get that busy, you're walking into nothing but stress. Your life now has turned into stress. And then you're becoming, you don't understand that America has set us up to be so busy that we forget that it's not only America, but it's a trick of the enemy. So that we can become so busy we get distracted with our spiritual life. We get distracted with our life because our spiritual life should be above our busy life. Our spiritual life should be above our natural life. Our spiritual life should be above everything else. And if we don't get to that place of understanding our spiritual life, then you're going to be too busy for that too. And the next thing you know, you're out there talking about God hadn't done anything for me and I'm not going to serve him anymore. That's because you got so busy with life that you forgot about God. You were so busy with life that you forgot about your family. You forgot about you. You forgot about who you are in the Lord. You're just too busy. And so you're grinding. Got to get this done, got to get that done. If I don't get this done, this is going to happen. You're grinding, constantly grinding. I have to go out. You get out of the bed. Before you can get out of the bed, you got your shoes on and you're already running. Before you get out of the bed, you got your bus ticket, you got your car, your keys in your hand, you're gone because you're grinding. You're not even thinking about it. You're even taking a shower without even thinking you got wet. You know, it's just really funny how busy we are. We're just grinding. You're combing your hair without even thinking about it. You're putting on makeup without even thinking about it. You match your clothes up pretty good, but you're just grinding, and nothing productive is really happening in your life because you messed up. You're all stressed out, don't know what's going on, don't know how life is going to carry you on, but you just messed up. So that's why I'm saying we've got to get past this grinding spirit season. I can't see God blessing that. I just don't. God can't bless no grinding spirit because he can't bless it because you're not even walking with him. He can't bless it because you and he are not even together in it. You forgot about God. God, I'm too busy for you today. I got to do this. Oh, Lord, I'm too busy to pray because I got to make sure I take care of all this busy. And he's like, who started your day? Hello? Who woke you up this morning? Who put the breath of life in you to bring you back from that unconscious way of sleeping to consciousness to even be aware that you're even alive today? Who did this? But yet we say, Lord, I'm just too busy. I know, audience, you do the same thing because I used to do it. Now I take time. I take time out of my day and I say, before my feet even hit the ground, when I wake up, I won't even get up. I just lay there for a minute and I say, Lord, thank you. Thank you so much for another day. Now I need you to order my steps, Father. I'm giving this day to you because I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know how the enemy's going to try and trip me up. I don't know how or what I'm going to run into. But if I give my day to the Lord, then the busyness disappears. The busyness dissolves. The busyness dissipates because now my day is organized. My day is ordered. And more than anything else, my day is blessed. That's how we have to give our day to the Lord. And so we have to get away from this busyness and get away from the privileges that the enemy has placed upon you. The privileges of saying, I want you distracted. I want to make sure that you don't remember God. I want to take the stress privilege and give it to you so that you stay stressed out. And then we try and wonder why our lives are getting messed up. Some of us are getting the high blood pressure pills and we didn't have them a long time, all these years. Now all of a sudden you go to the doctor, he said you got hypertension. He said you got sugar. He said you got this. He said this is wrong with you. Well, what happened? And so you were so healthy. What happened? What happened is you never stopped for a moment. You never stopped that train, that busyness in your head. You don't even have stop signs. I got to keep going. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do that. And your blood pressure keeps going up. You're not eating properly. Your life is all messed up. Now your health is messed up. And the only thing the doctor's going to say to you is that, here, take this pill. We're going to get some prescriptions for you over here. You need to take this. You need to take that. You know, in our broken state, that's exactly where the enemy wants to keep us. Do you know you're broken in a stress situation? Do you realize that brokenness that you're in? You don't even know you're broken. You don't even know it because the enemy is steady breaking you down, steady tearing you apart, steady moving you further and further and further away from the relationship that you have with the Lord. Because guess where your relationship is now? It's with stress. That's your new partner. stress. So instead of grace and love and mercy and all that follows you all the days of your life, you have nothing but busy and stress following you now. You have adopted a brand new family called stress and busy. So we have to get rid of that. We have to get to a place where we understand we have to stop. Just stop for a moment and say, I can't do this anymore. And that's okay, because that's what God wants you to do. Stop. He's saying, thank you. Well done, my busy servant. That's what he's going to tell you. Well done. Now you can stop, and now I can work. And when we get to that place, ask the Lord, first of all, to rejuvenate your body, to heal you again, to take down the stress level. Get your mind straight. People have all these issues, stressing with aneurysms, stressing with strokes. All kinds of things are going on with their bodies, and they don't even realize it's because you're too busy for God. You've let the devil come in and attack you with everything that he could. He has put the command of the enemy upon your life, and he does not care who you are. Because if he can move you from the relationship of God through stress and busyness, those two taking your hand in your lap, you're busy over here, stress is over here, leading you down this road, when goodness and mercy should be leading you over here. He knows goodness and mercy isn't there, so he took stress and busyness to destroy you. So we have to get to a place of allowing God to get back into our lives and let him take away the busyness and put blessings back in our lives. So at this time, I'm going to be closing very shortly, but I just wanted to share this with you, that if we begin to pace ourselves, like I said, when I get up in the morning, I never just jump out of the bed. The only way I'll jump out is I heard something. It didn't sound right. I don't know what. Then I'm going to jump out. Honey, something's going on. But usually I'm going to just lay there, and I'm just going to wake up and say, Lord, thank you for another day. I don't want a stress day. I don't want a busy day. I don't want to grind anymore. Come on, people. Let's stop grinding. This is the only season right now that I'm telling you, stop. Don't do it. Don't grind. You don't need to grind. If you pace your day correctly, everything that you need to do through that day, because you've allowed the Lord to order your steps, you'll get it done. You will have some interruptions, but God will say, it's okay if you can wait till tomorrow. Because I don't want you getting up. Someone said it earlier, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, not going to bed until midnight. What is that all about? That's most of our life, because we have put so much time on busy, so much time on I've got to get it done, so much time on if I don't do this today, this is going to happen. And God's saying, I'm asking you to stop, because your physical being is not lining up with your spiritual being. And if they don't line up, something's going to fall apart. You're already broken, but God wants to get you to his perfection, to spiritual perfection. If we understand, a lot of times we're moving in the grinding season because we're hiding behind what just happened to us. Or the grinding season is covering our hurt, it's covering our pain, it's covering anger. It's covering so much of our loss. I've lost so much, so now I think that in this grinding season that I have to make it all work. I have to prove myself. God says, no, you don't have to do that, because you're killing yourself. Your life is going to be cut short because you're stressed out. There's going to be no time left for you if you don't get to the place of just allowing God to do. It's okay, just allowing God to just be God. So as I get ready to close, I want to just share with you how important it is that you understand the different seasons that we have going on. It's so important for you to understand that this season, the grinding season, is one that I want you to take a look at. It's one that I want you to understand. It's one that I want you to know that it's not important in your life. It's one that you have to let go of so that you can live a long and a fruitful life. Dry season sounds like that's the one we need to let go of, but you gotta get through that dry season in order to be spiritually mature. You have to get through a waiting season so that God can grow us up spiritually. But you gotta get out of the grinding season so that God can keep you in this life. I love you, and we're going to come back next week with another season. Thank you for joining me again today for the grinding season. We're going to get out of that. So my words to you on the grinding season is stop. Don't do it anymore. Let God take it and let him handle life for you. God bless you. I love you, and thank you for joining me with lunch at with Dr. Birdella, God's Honorable Women of Ministry. I love you all. God bless. Thank you. Thank you.